So we're heading up to go meet with the client right now, and they've got a big event coming up on July 21st. And what we're really doing is we're going to lay the foundation to really understand who they're wanting to reach, and then it's our job to go back and figure out how we're gonna reach those people to get them to attend the event. So that's where we're heading. All right, so the event is July 21st. Any ideas on location, Hearn?
We have the Hearn stage booked.
All right.
I've got M&M sound. We're gonna video both sessions. Okay, so you said the first would be the session 1, 8:30 to 11 on. Session 2 is more entrepreneurial, if you ask me. Just right off the bat, it's the leadership model.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I think session 1 is more board and right. One idea I had, let me pitch this to you. What if, it's just an idea, it's $49 a session, and then basically Cleta's gonna sponsor it and give out tickets, but you have to have a ticket to come. Then on the social media side, Cleta's sponsoring the event, send them to Eventbrite. It's $100 ticket to buy it, or whatever the price it is to buy it. But in the ad, here's your coupon code. This coupon code is only good for this week. So what it does, I think, it creates that perceived value.
Okay, so everybody that's a Cleta board member gets it. They got the coupon where they can get a ticket. Everybody that's a BAS coached client gets a coupon. And then if there's a way that I can pass out, now
coupons.
you got to see Gary if you want one, or there's some sort of value.
Creating value is the fundamental element when it comes to marketing your product or your event or your service. Over the next few weeks, you'll watch as we create value and build value for this event. Stay tuned. All right, so we're heading in to go discuss what our plan of action is going to be for this event coming up on the 21st. And one of the most important things, one of our core fundamental values, is to focus on results. What are the results that the client wants? And in this case, the client wants 100 people to show up for this event. The way we're going to do that is we're going to rely on what we call the critical 5, which we start with who's here, right? Who's the audience that we're trying to reach? The next thing we do is we talk about the what. What do we want them to do? And then probably the most important one is the why. Why should anyone take the action that we want them to take? And the last two are just how and then when. So when do we want them to do that? And obviously we want them to register as soon as possible, but when the event's gonna be on July 21st. So what we're gonna do is we're heading to the office now, and Justin and I are gonna sit down and kind of map out, go through these 5 and lay out the plan of action that we're gonna take over the next 3 weeks promoting this event. So the why should somebody care to spend a day, 4 hours out of their busy work day to attend this event?
Yeah, so the value of what it is, you would easily be paying hundreds of dollars to hear her speak anywhere else, and we're able to get this sponsored for people to come in. So that's a big one. Another one, if you implement what she's going to talk about, you're going to grow. Like, your business is going to do better. Your people are going to enjoy their jobs more. The negative side of it is you may be doing things wrong, that it's hurting your business, that she can point out. So we'll need tickets, physical tickets to hand out so they have something physical, flyers to give out, emails ready to go to the email list. I think it'd be helpful to have a video of some sort, just because it creates that emotional feel that this is a good place to be, a good place to work, and this is what they've created.
Okay, so what needs to go on the flyer as far as like content?
Yep, so the critical elements would be obviously the date, July 21st, location, it's gonna be Hearn Stage.
Wait, what time on July 21st?
First one is gonna be 8:30 to 11.
So there's only 110 tickets altogether, like for both sessions?
Correct.
Okay.
The other stuff for the ticket, we need to make sure we have the Eventbrite link on there.
Now that we have our punch list in place, we know exactly what it is we need to go back and create. the message. The message is what you have that can motivate, can inspire, can engage your potential audience to get up and take the action that you want them to take. Stay tuned as you see us develop these pieces and develop our message that gets our audience to move and gets results for our client. So over here getting ready for a meeting, we're going to be reviewing the materials that we put together and going over the actual strategy that we have in place for this event coming up. The event is actually 3 weeks from today, so we've got 3 weeks to pull this off and get this event sold out. So we're about to head over to the office now. So we're heading over to meet with the team right now, and we're going to talk about building value, creating value in the marketplace for this event. So as we go into the meeting, you're going to hear us talk about building value, creating value, and all the things that we're going to do to create value for this event. Aloha, party people. Y'all ready?
Sure.
Justin, I think you've been working kind of on overall plan, strategy, what we're going to do.
Yes.
Gary, our client, should be calling here in just a minute. Jessica, it looks like you got tickets, flyers ready to go. So what we want to do is briefly, Justin, if you would just kind of give us an overview of what we're hoping to accomplish.
So trying to get 150 people to actually register, meaning getting them tickets so they can go online, register with the ticket. The kind of way we're doing that is we'll be doing Facebook, emails, and then kind of media, so television, radio, kind of how they traditionally do their thing. So what we want to start with is Facebook, and realistically build up an audience first with some videos, whether that's videos we have of Lena, whether that's just general, gifts that we've run before, to build up an audience of people, then start hitting them and targeting them kind of that second week. Then we have emails that we want to send out to the CLETA BAS email list that we have. We don't want to oversaturate those though. So I think last time we sent out 2, maybe only 1. That may be kind of the route we want to go so we don't oversaturate them with emails. And then that last week, hit on the kind of press release, do media outlets, and then our Facebook campaigns, maybe get off the videos and do more of the urgency. 100 people have signed up, 80 people have signed up, seats are running out. And that's really what we're going to focus on with the Facebook campaigns, is that this is going to sell out. This is a super valuable event. Anywhere else, this would be $700.
It's actually Gary calling now, so let's go ahead. Mr. Perkins, how are you, sir?
Good morning, sir. How are you today?
Good. We're sitting around the conference table, Justin, Jessica, and I, and going over the event coming up on the 21st.
I got bad news. There's going to be a change. The idea that we had before, where we were going to charge for the event and had the free tickets we were going to hand out, the funder's not going to allow that, so we've got to go to Plan B.
All right. Yeah, we can come up with something. We'll figure it out. What's the attendance number you're still looking for? Is it 100?
Got to have 100 to make the numbers work for the funder. Y'all talked about creating value. We just got to find a way to create value that fits with the way the funder rules are.
Right. Gotcha. Yep. I don't know exactly what that'll be at this point, but we'll figure something out for sure.
And we're up against a pretty serious deadline, so we need to come up with it today or tomorrow so we can get it out. So no sleeping tonight.
Fair enough. Yep.
Okay.
So 3 weeks from today is the event.
And I'm counting on you. Never failed me, so here we go.
All right. We'll make it happen.
Sure.
Thank you.
All right.
Let's face it, things rarely go according to plan, but we certainly weren't expecting this major setback so late in the game. But you know, that is exactly why clients come to us. They come to us not for some awards that we've won, but for the results that we will deliver. So just finished up a great meeting with John Gunner over here at Word of Mouth Cafe. Great friend, longtime client of ours. Heading back to the office to pick up Justin, and we're gonna go meet Gary to discuss numbers, where we're at with the campaign, and where he's at with the registration. So last time we talked to Gary, he gave us some bad news, and that news was basically all the work we'd done in the strategy behind this campaign to market this event, we couldn't use. And the reason we couldn't use that strategy is because one of the sponsors wouldn't allow him to sell tickets to the event. And so, as with anything in business and life, there's always going to be curveballs that come at you. And it's really just a matter of how you're going to respond to those curveballs that get thrown to you. And so what we've done, we've gone back and we've completely restructured the content and the pieces that are involved in this campaign. And one of the things that we rely on are some psychological triggers that we try to implement in all of our marketing that we do. And so for this event, what we're relying on scarcity. And the beauty of it is there's only 110 seats for this venue where this event's gonna be held. So we don't have to make up scarcity. There's legitimate, real scarcity taking place, but the fact that there's limited seating. Another thing is we're relying on authority. So Lena, the speaker coming in, she is a world-renowned expert when it comes to growing companies and building cultures that are thriving and growth-minded. So we're relying on her authority and we're promoting her authority through our marketing efforts. And then the final one would just simply be social proof, right? No one wants to go to an event or attend something that no one else is attending or paying attention to. So we're going to rely on social proof as the campaign progresses and let people know how many people registered as well as how many seats are left. So playing back and forth between scarcity and social proof.
This is definitely my favorite venue in Alexandria. It's different than everywhere else, and the events are always well received here. So I like this place a lot. So we'll have the speaker on this end. We'll have a stage, a little riser, 8-inch. We'll have the banners behind it.
And then M&M Sound.
M&M Sound will do the recording. The risers will be out of here, so we won't have that. Obviously, the set will be gone from that play.
Right now, where are we at? Registration.
I looked this morning, we were at 40 registered.
Okay. And so we're roughly a week in. We started running, I think, last Friday. Does that sound right? So 2 weeks out. So if we keep that pace up, we should end up around 120. But obviously, we want to get up to what, 150 is the number we want to hit. So where are we at in terms of actual ad performance?
So right now, 20,000 people reached, about 2,000 engaged. So between the two, the picture's done better just because it's run longer, ran over the weekend, July 4th holiday. Should see the video pick up. On our specialized link, 60 have clicked on that within the thing. We've had probably about 80 click on the ads themselves. So it's doing well. Should expect to see more from the video though in the next few days.
So we're 2 weeks out from today. And if we keep hitting these numbers, and as we know from previous events, people around here are last minute often. So if we stay at about this pace, about 40 people a week, we end up with 120-ish registered, which we need to get that up to about 150.
We need 150 registered for each session.
Momentum matters in marketing, and although we're off to a very solid start, it's now time for us to start implementing some of our more advanced marketing strategies. The first place we'll start is by creating evangelists out of the current registrants for this event, and then we'll motivate them to help us promote the event. Over the last few weeks, we've taken you behind the scenes as we put together a marketing campaign for our client. His event's coming up in right at a week, and what we want to do today is we want to explain in detail some of the strategies that we've utilized in putting together this campaign. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to show you and explain to you the 3 core strategies that we're using for this marketing campaign. So in part 4, we talked about some of the psychological triggers that we're going to use in these campaigns. We talked about social proof, we talked about authority, and we also talked about scarcity and how we're going to incorporate those into this marketing campaign. Those strategies actually come from this book, the book called Influence. And if you're doing any type of marketing or written communication or even verbal communication where you're trying to convince people to take action, we highly recommend you pick up a copy of this book. In this book, he goes through and explains in detail how you can utilize and how we as humans are influenced by certain psychological triggers. So again, highly recommend you pick up a copy of this book and utilize some of these triggers in your marketing campaigns.
We mentioned earlier the critical 5, so it's important to understand what those are. So first, we need to understand who are we trying to advertise to? Young, old, male, female, where do they like to shop, what do they like to do? If we don't understand that, we're gonna waste a lot of time and money advertising to people who don't really care about us or our product. Secondly, we need to understand the what. What do we want them to do? Do we want them to show up to an event? Do we want them to walk in the store? Do we want them just to know about us so they can tell other people? Or do we want them to buy something? Just like with the who, if we don't understand the what, would lead people to the wrong direction. Thirdly, we need to understand when do we want them to do it. Do we want to do it immediately? Do we want to do it at a specific time, like an event or a sale? Does it really matter? Can they just come whenever? Fourth, we need to understand why they want to do it. It's the question of what's in it for me. At the end of the day, people don't care about you, they don't care about your product, they care about what your product does for them. They care about how you make them feel. So you need to understand, why are people shopping at your place? Why are people coming to your service? And what is that process and what's that making them feel? What's the baseline emotion that they're getting from that? And finally, we need to understand how we're gonna get them to do what we want them to do. How are we gonna get them to buy our stuff? How are we gonna get them to talk about our company? How are we gonna get them in the store and at an event? Do you have a promotion? Do you have a sale? Do you have some type of giveaway? You need to figure out all 5 of these things, because that's gonna save you a lot of time, money, and headaches through your advertising and marketing programs. So make sure you filter everything through those 5 questions.
So one of the strategies that we're using in this campaign is something we call the natural progression. And you see what happens when we go out and market something to the marketplace, whether it's a product, a service, or an event. Those people that we're reaching are often strangers. So they don't know us, they don't trust us, they don't like us. And the goal of marketing is to move them from a stranger into a friend. And what has to happen for that to take place is they have to know something about us and they have to like us. Now, to move people from a friend into a customer or into someone who's registered for this event, what we have to do is we have to not only have them know us and like us, but they also have to trust us. And you see, once they trust us, then and only then will they become a customer or a client. And then the final part that most people overlook is they overlook turning those customers into what we would refer to as evangelists. In other words, someone who can go out into the marketplace and tell their friends, their family, their coworkers why they should know us, why they should like us, and why they should trust us. And you see, when you create evangelists for your product, your service, your event, whatever it may be, you bypass the entire stranger portion of this process. And so what we're going to do in this campaign is we're now going to put the current registrants to work for us by turning them into evangelists so that they go out and tell their friends and coworkers why they should register and attend this event. So in your marketing efforts, remember the natural progression and always be sure that you allocate some of your marketing budget to turning your existing customers into evangelists.
Vision is what you guys hold. Vision is to ensure you're headed towards the right goal. Without the right vision, you're not going in any one direction.
So it's the morning of the event. We just finished up with our first break. We've had a great turnout this morning. Lots of people here eager to learn and listen from Lena and apply these strategies back into their business. So let's head back in and go ahead and listen into the rest of the content.
Seriously, like sometimes you just need a encouragement to push people out the door, right? But you just need to pay attention. Like people, you don't necessarily have to fire people. Sometimes you just need to push them out the door, right? Let them learn to fly, right?
So it's event day. We started off this morning. We had 141 registered. The event was well received. We're still doing the afternoon session, so we'll get some feedback when that's over.
So we just finished up the event today, and I'm here with Lena, and I just want to ask you real quick, y'all do a big event every single year, Entrepalooza, and you have people literally from all around the world fly into your event. What would be an idea or strategy in terms of marketing and promoting an event that you could share with those watching?
So one of the things that's worked really, really well for us is having price changes at specific dates and then emailing right before the price changes and saying like, hey, the price is going to change in 3 days, the price is going to change tonight, and that works really well. That always boosts ticket sales right around those times.
Excellent. Thanks so much for sharing that with us, and thanks for the great event today.
No problem.
Thank you all for watching.